Hi everybody, for the first time we're going to do an herb spotlight. I have a jar of the herb we're going to feature today. This is a tincture. A tincture is just a solution of herbs basically steeped in alcohol more than anything else. This particular one is lemon balm tincture. Now it is not ready yet. It has been quote cooking for about 3 weeks. It needs at least 3 more weeks to go, maybe a little more, because I didn't process it exactly the way I probably should have. I should have chopped it coarsely. I didn't even really chop it. I didn't have that much lemon balm. I grew that this year among other herbs. Most of them didn't take off this year, but this one did. So on the top I have dated when I put it in the jar, so I know when it's supposed to come back out, or when it'll be ready to use it rather. And I want to talk about lemon balm tincture, or lemon balm per se, specifically as an herb and its benefits. And I also want to recommend a book. Again, I've recommended in the past, Rosemary Gladstar's Medicinal Herbs. Excellent book. If you are beginning to grow herbs for to stay out of the medical complex as much as possible, which I would suggest these days, fabulous book. Tells you how to grow herbs. And of course, she has a wonderful section on lemon balm and how to make lemon balm tincture. She has a special recipe. Not everybody makes it exactly the same. Her particular recipe, I think she adds ginger and something else, cinnamon, or was it ginger and clove, I think. But she has several things to make with lemon balm. So I think this is hers, if I remember right. But anyway, let me tell you about lemon balm. I'm gonna put a picture of my lemon balm that I grew this year. I didn't grow a lot of it, but I plan to keep growing it. It has a heavenly scent. Crushing your fingers, that that lemony fresh scent. It's awesome. Lemon balm is really an interesting herb, and it seems like it's very easy to grow. Mine is actually taking back off after I cut it off for this tincture I'm making. And basically what you do is you get a glass jar, you cut your lemon balm. Basically the leaves are what you want. All the essential oils that are the good part for you are in the leaves, and I just cut the stems close to the leaves. And I don't leave a lot of stem in there, although there may be a little bit of stem here and there. Most of these are just the leaves in this tincture. It's all the little hairs on the sides of the leaves that have all those wonderful essential oils in there. You stuff it in a glass jar, and then you cover it till it's over the top with an alcohol, at least 40% alcohol to 70%. Well, I used 80 proof vodka, and actually I needed just a little bit more alcohol. I didn't have any. I didn't want to open a whole other jar of vodka, so I actually used a little bit of Everclear to top it off. But it really doesn't matter. Basically, you don't want to use any more than 80 proof alcohol, is what I understand. So you cover it to the top. You seal it good. You put it in a dark, dry, cool place, and you just let it sit and let all that goodness get absorbed, pulled out of the leaves and into the alcohol. And then I'll tell you how you can use that later. But they say leave about 6 weeks. Let it go about 6 weeks. Some people say 2 weeks. I don't think that's nearly enough. I would say at least a month to 6 weeks or more. You can leave it in longer. And one way to use it, and you just put 15 drops. You can actually, at the end, you strain off the leaves. You strain off the liquid. You can run it through cheesecloth or whatever if you want to. I would say you probably don't even have to strain off the leaves if you don't want to. If you just want to put a spoon in there and get the liquid off the top of the jar, I think you could do that. But most people would probably strain it into if you have a dark glass jar, or just a jar you can keep in a dark place, it should actually store for several years. If you're in a hot, humid climate and it's always hot, you have no cool place to store it, keep it in your refrigerator. It's fine to do that. But one way to use it is put about 15 drops. Now, so if you can get little glass jars with little eyedroppers, that would be excellent to keep in your fridge. And just put a few drops, 15 drops in, say, a quarter cup of water and drink that. So it's very lemony. You could put a teaspoon in a tea that you've made. Tea and lemon, right? So the lemon flavor in there. Now, you don't want to go drinking a lot of this and then go drive, because of the properties I'm going to tell you about. Let me tell you about the benefits of lemon balm. First, it's a very strong antioxidant. It's best known for its calming properties. I have a lot of this written down because I know I'll forget to tell you something. In fact, Jess of Roots and Refuge Farm has a video on the way she makes her lemon balm tincture and what she does with it. And she actually puts it in honey and calls it honey medicine. And when her kids are going or bonkers or whatever, they're agitated and they need some calming. At the end of the day, she'll say, would you like some honey medicine? And it's not medicine at all. It's just lemon balm tincture and raw honey. And apparently they love that. So you can find a lot of information about how to make lemon balm tinctures and teas on YouTube. But I would always recommend Jess of Roots and Refuge Farm. Always. Lemon balm also relieves severe nervousness and excessive agitation, hence the calming sedative properties. It's tension reducing. It relaxes the muscles of the digestive tract. I think it's called Melissa officinalis is the scientific name of it. But Melissa oil has anti-inflammatory properties, has antibacterial properties, and antiviral properties. Might be good to know that. You can actually make even a poultice of this, and you can put it on, say if you suffer from herpes cold sores, that's herpes, oral herpes, a cold sore, you can actually put it on cold sores. It's antiviral and calming. Like I said, it can last about 3 years if you keep it properly. Lemon balm oil can be used for aromatherapy. Now, there's one thing I need to tell you about this that I would be remiss if I didn't. And Rosemary mentions it in her book, and I've heard other people mention it, and there's a little controversy about whether this is true or not. And I will read you, let me see if I can find the spot here. Let me see. There's something I need to talk about. Let's see. I'm not sure I can find the actual writing here, but it's worth noting. Okay, here we go. She has these little blurbs, and it has what they call a safety factor here. Now, lemon balm is known as an extremely safe herb. But she notes this, and I think it's because she would be remiss if she did not mention it, and of course I would too. She says lemon balm is considered a thyroid inhibitor. Those suffering from hypothyroidism or low thyroid activity should use it only under the guidance of healthcare practitioner. I have seen a few videos about lemon balm, and apparently there are some people who say there is actually no evidence whatsoever that that is true. Herbalists say that most likely is not true. But just in case, you need to know that I am hypothyroid myself, and I'm going to use this. You know, if you are, maybe you shouldn't use it all the time. But I definitely am going to use it for myself. Whether you use it or not is up to you. This is not medical advice. This is just an FYI for you, that some people say it has effect on the thyroid, and other people say there's absolutely zero evidence of that. So, just so you know. But it is an absolutely heavenly smelling herb. Now, the leaf is rich in essential oils, and the key constituents in the leaves are citral, citronellol, tannins, bitters, polyphenols, vitamin C, calcium, magnesium, catechin, resins, and flavonoids. So calcium and magnesium are calming properties right there. I would say putting a little bit in some raw honey is great. Put some in a tea. But anyway, yeah, so super easy to do. Super easy. Smells fabulous. I would say because of all those properties I mentioned, I think this would be an excellent herb to try to grow. It's really easy to grow. And yeah, I'm going to let this cook about 3 more weeks before I even open this. I have seen, now I should have chopped this coarsely. I did not chop mine. I didn't have a lot of it, and I kind of thought it wouldn't fill my jar if I didn't. If I did chop it, so I didn't chop it. But that releases more of the oils when you do that. Not finely chop, just coarsely chop. Just chop, 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 put it in the jar. And of course, in the future, if I make more, and I have more of it, I probably would do that. I think just to make up for that, I'm going to leave it in probably longer than 6 weeks to make before I use it, just to make sure. Now, the liquid in here, the alcohol, will probably be a darker color. It should change color when it's about done. I have seen people using this, and yeah. So there you go. Start you an herb. If you haven't started an herb garden, this might be the time. And I hope if you really are interested in more herb spotlights, I have in mind another herb to do. I've already made a tea with it, and actually seemed to help me sleep better. So I have another herb spotlight in mind to do. And if you think you would like to see more herb spotlights on this channel, let me know. I'll probably put it on both my channels, put this video on both channels just in case. So, have a great week, everybody.